There it goes.
My moving plant guys are really growing up. Anyways, you clicked on this video. We both know why you are here. You're here to see Michael Scott with blonde hair dance around. Science has gone too far. Man, I always have trouble with this, don't I? Today we are going to be watching that horrible CSI episode about furries. I know a lot of people, when I asked if my viewers would enjoy seeing a video like this, a lot of people said it's very overdone and it's talked about too much, and in many ways I agree. I haven't seen it yet, I know nothing about it, but from the little I know about CSI, NCIS type shows, it's probably going to be pretty bad. I don't like essentialism, I don't like generalizing, but NCIS, for example, is known for this clip.
I'm getting hacked. I'm trying. It's moving too fast.
Oh, this is not good. I've never seen code like this.
Not to mention, NCIS shows, the people who make them have some very strange names. I believe there's a writer named Speedweed. Speedweed. There's a producer named Dick Wolf. I could imagine seeing those names in credits for some but crime scene shows. That's not just another reason we're gonna do this now is because I am working on a video about budget fursuit head alternatives, all that. I got this head, put the stuff on to show it off, and I even ordered my own thing. This thing, the neck cover thing, but it came slightly misprinted. Do you see that? So the design has been updated. It should be all fixed now, but I have to reorder it, so we gotta wait for that. So it's this big thing. Let's watch this. So the way this is gonna work, I plan to watch this episode on Hulu, okay? I feel like if I were to screen capture this, YouTube would fillet me alive. I'm just gonna take the camera and I'm gonna set it in front of my computer. What? What are you saying? You're bustling Daisy? What does that mean? Okay, just relax. This will be over soon. You have this lady driving down the road. Something's happening and she gets in this horrible crash. Now, if I know anything, I would bet there's going to be some sort of smart, punny comment from one of these investigators here.
That's what happens when 6,000 pounds of thrust meets 3 feet of hood.
This was not a fair fight.
What kind of animal are we talking about here?
What? It looks like they've been made with paint. I'll be fair to Speedweed or whoever wrote this. A lot of cliches, but so far there's no morally offensive stereotypes or stuff like that. So let's continue on. They take the head off and they find this person in there. And it's actually kind of interesting. They make some comments that seem rather genuine and like, you know, curious and interested.
That's what you see out of.
Yeah,
I
okay.
once dated the Detroit Lions mascot.
Did you know that raccoons have opposable thumbs?
This one liked to wrap his around a bottle. 30 days, one day at a time.
As if the guy hasn't had enough of a bad day being killed, you decide to make fun of... I'm subtracting points from Speedweed for that joke. What are you saying to me? Speedweed didn't write this? Oh, well, still. I'm pretty far into this, and not a lot has happened.
I don't get this whole thing.
Oh, hey, Warwick, it's Vegas. People come here to be animals.
All this schmohawk had in his system was trace amounts of ipecac and civet oil.
Weird. Okay. This is their first depiction of furries as a group, so are they gonna screw it up? Let's find out. The answer, probably.
This is fascinating. A whole tribe of people who prefer to interact as furry animals rather than human beings.
I don't know. I mean, what can you really say about this? So far, their depictions are not accurate. I've definitely seen worse. If this was it, then I wouldn't have heard about this episode before, right? Like, it's going to get worse. It has to.
Forever divided in himself as his...
Not sure if I've said this yet, but everybody who's watching this probably has a pretty good understanding on what a furry is. I would normally not explain this, but I feel inclined to. This seems an interesting one, because I do gotta say, this guy's giving a lecture at this convention. He implies that furries think they are animals, and that is not the case. Now, just a few minutes ago, I was talking about essentialism and not generalizing. So what I mean is that furry, by definition, does not mean that somebody thinks they're an animal. You know, it's cosplay. It's cosplay. That's it. This is an okay analogy. Okay, some people watch anime. Some people draw their own characters. An even smaller amount of people cosplay as anime characters. And then, sure, there's people out there who watch adult-oriented anime, right? But if I walk up to you and say, oh, I like anime, you don't assume I'm talking about some NSFW thing, right? You assume I'm talking about any number of shows, right? So you understand what I'm saying? This idea that being a furry means that you're an animal. Well, I mean, obviously humans are animals, but you know what I mean? Like, this idea that you think you're a different species. Not an accurate depiction of furries. Oh, boy.
I'm Captain Willows. I'm with the crime lab.
What did I just watch? This appears to be some kind of, I don't know if it's a dancing performance or something, right? This person is up there dancing around. Have you ever been to, like, some sort of show and then somebody comes up and tries to talk to the person as they're up there, like, singing or, like, tap dancing or something? That typically doesn't go very well. Because that's not how this kind of thing is supposed to work. You know, not necessarily an appropriate time.
We're also going to need to talk to you without the masks on.
Do you have a problem with that?
You wouldn't ask a human lady to take her makeup off. If you want to talk to me, this is the me you're going to talk to.
My head is in such pain and turmoil!
This is really stupid. Why am I here? This is so cliched and the most unrealistic thing. I mean, they're interviewing this person in the suit and they're refusing to take the suit off. Yeah, no.
I'm a lawyer. I know my rights. You can't sequester a domestic animal without due cause.
Hello.
Okay.
What a twist. Wow. I think the joke here is this person's Sona appeared to be female and he's a male. Scandalous. Oh my goodness. I resent the fact that somebody thought this would be a good idea. Somebody is not aligning with gender stereotypes. Woo! This is not as bad as I expected it to be so far, if I'm being honest. It's a little stupid. It's big stupid, actually.
Bob Pitt? Huh? You may know him as Rocky Raccoon.
You think my costume killed Rocky? Rocky was me.
That's one I haven't heard.
What? Okay, yep, now it's getting worse, okay.
They don't seem to be very sad that their friend died in this horrible, tragic incident, and that doesn't seem very realistic. You know, it's kind of hard to see here. Is this just bad writing, bad acting? Are they saying furries are freaks who are awkward and don't have the correct emotions? And then this other thing, what did he say? Something about grooming? Listen, okay, I've been a furry for many years. I've never heard that term in my entire life. Once again, I don't think this happens. Red alert, okay, they weren't going good, but they just screwed it up. They totally screwed it up, okay? They took a black light to this guy's... It's late. Whose horn is going off? I'm not going to show the clip because it's like, you know, I try to remain relatively family friendly, and they are now implying that I don't need to say anything more. You know what I'm talking about. I think the real issue here is the premise of this show is incorrect. This concept that all these furry people meet at conventions and it's like this NSFW, like, you know what I mean? It's such a commonly held idea that furries are this NSFW community of people who like meet up and like, you know, and I don't know why that is. I remember listening to Wait, Don't Tell Me. That's an NPR show. I love my friends over at NPR. I've been on NPR. I got interviewed on NPR a couple years ago. What I'm trying to say is they're good people and they do really good stuff over there. There was a Wait, Don't Tell Me thing about a furry convention, and it was completely inaccurate. On one hand, was a huge benefit to the person who was calling in, because if they were a furry, they would have known it wasn't true, and so they would have been able to guess correctly, right? It was talking about, you know, like, it's this convention where people go to dress like animals and behave like animals, like this kind of thing. And like, it really made me sad. For some reason, it's just this thing that people are like, yep, that's what being a furry means. Not all is lost. Zeus is angry right now. Oh no, okay, I just figured out why this episode is so universally despised. I don't want to show any of this part here because it's pretty inappropriate and gross. Let's just say the person in that blue costume, they did various tests on the costume and discovered evidence that the person in the blue costume had been lying about not knowing the guy who died. I'm gonna cut out the audio anytime the guy says something inappropriate, okay? If you're watching at home and you're curious what he's saying, it's just various fake furry vocabulary. Use your imagination when the audio cuts out.
We're doing a little more than...
Oh, great.
It started and everyone got pretty soon.
That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. Oh, gross.
Fine.
When all the animals start...
What? What? Okay, it's over. Video over. Episode done. I want to go get my pizza.
Some of them start to do things.
Oh. One of the more subtle things here that I kind of despise is this person who was in the costume. He keeps using this furry vocab, aka stuff that only 3 people have ever said in the entire existence of the world, as if these police detectives know what they are. I resent the implication that us furries don't understand that it's weird and, you know, it's not necessarily a normal thing. We get it, okay? You think I don't know? You shut up. When they occasionally say a bit of vocabulary that's actually a real thing that people might say or something, they totally misdefine what it means. They just went on Urban Dictionary and like scrolled down to the 100th page to find the worst definition they could find. Okay, now they're on about pheromones.
He's a raccoon. They're all lowlifes.
They're all lowlife.
And in the wild, wolves are monogamous, but raccoons are promiscuous.
That's right.
Look at that smile. It is over. The guy in the suit who died was walking on the side of the road. This guy thought he was an animal. He, you know, pretty violent. This has been a long video. I need to do homework now. Thanks to my Patreon people. Appreciate y'all so much. Moral of the story, don't get